Big week means that we got to give you a big episode coming at you soon. The week that a lot of people have been waiting on, and it's crazy because the real game is next week, but this game has become a big game. So we got the Buckeyes versus Indiana, of all places. Indiana,
yeah,
top 5 matchup too. Everybody's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there with the tailgate show. Big Noon is gonna be there. Game day is gonna be there. Are you coming down?
No, I'm not. I would love to. In fact, I was going to come down to Columbus for this game because, I've been doing all the midweek matching games, and it's been great. It's been great because I get the weekends off if I'm doing a Tuesday or Wednesday night game. Like last night, I did Miami, Ohio, and NIU, and then I thought I had this weekend off. No, I'm not. I'm going to Fayetteville tomorrow for Arkansas in Louisiana Tech this weekend. So
you got a game.
I've got another game. Yeah, so I'm doubling up this week doing 2 games. I'm doubling up next week doing Toledo Akron Tuesday, and then Saturday I'm doing I got to think about this. Oh, Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky. There you go. Got a lot going on here, partner.
Do you be doing the bowl games too? So after the MAC championship, do you still got another game to call?
I've got 2 bowl games assigned already. So
that means that you're good at your job. That's what that tells me.
I don't know about that, but I'm happy to get some extra love in the month of December, and I'm hoping to do some FCS playoff games. I've done those in the past. They're a lot of fun too in December, but no, the bowl games are great, man. People want to get rid of bowl games. I'm like, no, I need a paycheck.
I respect it. All right,
no, I'm kidding.
So the big news, obviously, that's come down in Columbus is yesterday, while in practice, Ohio State lost their starting center, Seth McLaughlin, which he's been a crucial piece to them. They are now down 2/5 of their starting offensive line, with Josh Simmons going down in the Oregon game and his season over. Seth tearing his Achilles, meaning his season is over, who's actually been playing some really good ball. Obviously, the big conversation is, what do you do at center? And Dustin, I have 2 options, and you tell me which 2 options which one of the options would you take? Now, first option, Carson Hinsman has been playing left guard for the past 3 weeks. Last year, he started 12 games for the Buckeyes at center. So he was the center last year. This year, he starts now at left guard. You can move him back to center, and you can bring in Austin Sarafeld, who was he started a couple of games at guard already. I would say that would make you have the best 5 linemen that you have. If you put Austin in there, I think that's the best 5 that you currently have. That's option A. Or option B is leave him at left guard, leave Carson at left guard, and bring in the backup, Joshua Padilla, I think is his name.
Padilla.
You bring him in. He's a 4-star recruit. You bring him in at center and let it just ride. Which option would you do with?
Look, I don't like to I never want to take a strength and make it a weakness. But in this situation, we don't know that if you move Hinsman to center, does that make the left guard position weak? I don't know. It's interesting because Padilla has been taking the second team reps the last couple of games against Purdue and Northwestern. So I just think that if you feel comfortable placing Padilla, in there as a starter, and he's been practicing at center, I think that at least should probably be the first option. No,
I mean, I think that I think that that's the safe bet. Because
so I'm a safe bet kind of guy.
I would
not with my own bets, but this bet.
the reason that this is a safe bet to me in my eyes is because you just got the chemistry with the left guard, with Carson Hinsman at left guard. Him and Donovan Jackson on that left side has been solid. And you turned the play calling over to Chip Kelly. And I don't know how different the calls are from last year to this year. I know that Ryan Day learned under Chip Kelly, so it's probably the same, but Chip might have a one or two minor adjustments. And I don't know if I'm willing to put Carson there and basically have the risk of a blown assignment in the game, because if something changed, he doesn't know it, that could mess up the entire offensive line. So I think that the smart thing to do is put Padilla there at center, because he actually knows everything. And at least we all are on the same page, because when people start doing two different things, that's where it just looks terrible. So I think leaving Padilla is the safe pick, and that's probably the way that I would go.
What about Montgomery at left guard?
Montgomery has had some snaps at left guard too. So that's also putting Carson Hinsman back at center.
So I'm saying my point is you've got Montgomery who's taking second team reps at left guard. You've got Padilla who's taking second team reps at center. I guess which position do you feel like you could plug in a second team guy? And again, I don't know how talented these guys are. I mean, we haven't really seen them play. But
I think that's where a lot. I mean, obviously Carson Hinsman, you got a whole year of tape of him at center, and it was not a problem. But like I say, my only issue is if things changed, does he know that? Like, I mean, yes, he knows it, but like, is he comfortable going into the game with making those calls? Because the center obviously is important. They set the protection, they call out blitzes. It's a lot of communication at the center position. And I don't know, because I know he missed a good chunk of camp because he was sick. So he missed a lot of camp. And heck, he wasn't even in the starting rotation until somebody went down. And this was a guy that just started last year for you. So I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if you finally got some chemistry on the left. I don't know if I'm willing to jeopardize that for one game, or I guess for the rest of the season, I guess.
I wish I was an offensive line guru. I mean, the Cleveland Browns have a very similar situation with all their injuries on the offensive line. And it's been kind of a, rotation of musical chairs, on their offensive line. And it kind of feels that is the case for Ohio State. The difference in between like Ohio State and, some of these other deals, like for the Browns, for example, is like, it's hard to have a ton of like first round picks on the offensive line with the Browns. I mean, I know the Jed Wills thing, whatever, but like Ohio State, everyone's like a 4 or 5 star recruit. So I don't understand why these guys aren't ready to go. And, I guess it's middle of the season, so it's tough, but still, why are we having so many issues up front? And, the left tackle has certainly been a big struggle for the Buckeyes, and now even more concerns. The center, this from playing, how important the center is. It's the quarterback of the offense, the offensive line, so to speak. I mean, everything sort of goes through him. I mean, he touches the football every play. And that is something you got to be concerned about, especially the shotgun snaps. Those are something we take for granted because so many teams take it every play. Yeah. Well, now you put a new center in there, and real live bullets are flying. And this is going to be a tight ball game, I think, tighter than last week. Against Purdue. Let
me tell you what the spread is. I think it was like 12 and a half.
Yeah, it's juiced up. It was 9.5 to start, and now it's up to 12 and a half. We'll get into that.
It's 13 and a half. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of money.
Yeah, but I just think that you if you're Indiana, I mean, you're looking at this and you're sending all kind of A gap blitzes, all twists and stunts in the A gap and things like that. So they got to figure it out. I mean, and it's sad because it happened on a Tuesday. Here we are on a Wednesday. And you got to have a guy ready Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got 4 days to get this guy ready to play in a top 5 matchup. Like that's why to me it's like with that situation, like I think just the safe pick is just to put the second team center in there and just go off of that, because at least, like I say, everybody's on the same page. But I guess we'll find out. I know Ryan Day's going to get asked about it a million times from now until Saturday. He's probably not going to give the answer because that's a smart thing to do. So I think that we'll find out probably right before the game who the starting center is going to be. But that's definitely going to be something to watch, and that's something that I think Indiana is definitely going to try to take advantage of Well, is there anything that concerns you about this game? Because I know people look at it like it's Indiana, but like, listen, Indiana has some talent. I mean, in my 4 years of playing at Ohio State, like I think a lot of 3 of the 4 games may have been kind of close. So I got a lot of respect for Indiana. I've almost been upset by them a couple of times. So, but when you look at this Ohio State team, obviously they go to Northwestern, which I was there at Wrigley Field. It was an unbelievable experience, better than I thought it would be.
I want to get your thoughts on that too before we go. I want to
Wrigley
understand what it was like. Yeah, it looked awesome on TV, but
it was great because I wasn't gonna go, and then they convinced me to go in there because I'm like, I got the sideline pass, so they was like, you might as well just go down there anyways. So you get in there, and it's literally the baseball stadium, but they did a really good job of, the field, and then to the left of the field is like this big open area, just turf laid down. That's pretty much where I was standing. But I just thought the atmosphere was pretty cool. How it was 90% Ohio State fans in there, so it was essentially a home game for them. But everything went smooth. It really wasn't no problems or anything like that. It's something that I'm glad that I actually went down there to see, because I think the television didn't do it the justice that it deserved.
What was it like at halftime when the players went into the dugouts? I thought that was going to be pretty cool. I mean, I didn't see much of that aspect of it. Was it anything to write home about or no?
No, it's they went to the dugout. They went to the dugout. It's kind of what it was. It was I think it was where the pitchers warm up. That's what it was. The pit, the bullpen. I think that's what it was. But yeah, I mean, they handled it well. I give Ryan Day a lot of credit for that, because it's obviously in that situation, players' minds could wander and they can have mixed feelings about it. But he kept them all pretty engaged. So I give him a lot of credit for being able to manage that moment. But aside from all of that, on the field of play, when I watched him against Northwestern, the secondary, mainly at the corner position, I grade them a little tough, and it's unfair because I look at them. I got them on a pedestal where I want them to be. And this past week, I just thought they gave up a lot of completions. It was a pass at the end of the game that Northwestern's quarterback Jack Lausch overthrew this receiver, and I was like, if that's Indiana or somebody like that, he probably completes this pass for a touchdown. And we gave up another deep ball again, gave up some dig routes and stuff like that. So to me, I think that's going to get tested against Indiana. I'm not worried about Indiana in the run game, even though I know they've been really good at running the ball. I think they ranked 2 in run defense. I think we're first, and I think they're second, or vice versa, one of the two. I don't have it in front of me, but I think that it's going to come down to the pass and attack for them. And if our corners can't hold up, or if they get these PIs and these holding calls, like that's going to give Indiana the motivation or the momentum that they need. So I'm looking for these corners to play clean. I'm not going to lie to you. That to me is going to be the biggest tell to me.
Yeah, the corners have to step up. They the secondary this year has been a little concerning. I mean, it's certainly been a little better as of late, but this is going to be a really, really tough challenge for Ohio State. A game that I don't think anybody thought was going to be this great game before the season began. The one thing I will say is that this is not going to sneak up on Ohio State. They know that this is the season, essentially.
You're not worried about them overlooking it for the next game, for the rivalry?
No, dude, because it's not hard to get up for that game. And it's in Columbus. So I'm just not that worried about that game. Now, we'll talk next week, okay? And things could change a little bit, but you know the point. Like this is a huge game. You've already got one loss. This is something where Indiana's going to come in there as a team that can score a lot of points. The question that I have is, and I love Kurtis Rourke. I've covered him for a long time since he was a freshman at Ohio. How big's the moment? Like, is this too big for you? I don't know. I can't answer that. Coming back to the same state where you played. I know that he's from Canada and where he played high school ball and grew up. But
yeah, I play with his brother with the BC Lions. His brother can spin it.
Nathan Rourke?
Nathan Rourke. Yeah, but that boy can spin it.
Dude, there's been a Rourke at quarterback at Ohio. It felt like for 12 years straight. You know what I mean? Because both guys were there for a long time.
That's
But
how I felt about Martinez at Nebraska. I felt like it was like 5 Martinez
yeah,
at Nebraska back when I was playing. But yeah, that concern is warranted because I was talking to Jake Trotter today, and he was saying how
good peeps there, Jake Trotter.
Yeah, Jake's a good guy. He was talking about how outside of this being a big game for Kurtis, he was saying, like, what about Cignetti? You know, Kurt Cignetti's biggest, like, JMU is not having this type of stage, top 5 matchups at the shoe, things like that. So how can he handle it? And I guess that's a fair thing too that I never thought of. You know, can he, withstand this moment as well, or could it be too overwhelming for a coach? And I know he's not playing and nothing, but still, the moment could still get to a coach.
Yeah, I just don't think Kurt Cignetti's phased by anything. You know what I mean? Playing at Ohio State, coaching at Ohio State. Nah, man, I know the guy a little bit, having a chance to get to know him. Pittsburgh guy, covered him at James Madison. Really love what he's about. Love his staff, and I feel like I know this team.
Indiana,
not everybody, but I mean, because Kurtis I covered for so long, and for Kurt, I did one of his games last year. It was a lot of fun to sit down with him and just kind of learn a little bit. And I did Pitt this year, and obviously Narduzzi's got connections with Cignetti and those those ties as well. But yeah, I mean, I just want to see Ohio State take care of business. I'd like to see him for once come out in the first quarter and not be flat. What is going on, man? If you're a betting person out there, like, just bet the other team the first quarter, because Ohio State just really just shoots themselves in the foot. They're slow starting. I don't get it. Why, Tyvis? You're there. Why? Blaming you. It's your fault. It's your fault.
I think it's a feel it out process. I think they kind of want to test the waters, see what the people is good at, and then okay, they're not good at this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I think away we go here. But Ohio State's always been a second half team. Like, since I was playing, I don't recall, maybe with you or not, with y'all was there, but like the second half, they make adjustments and boom, you take off from there. And that's simply like a talent thing, and good coaches coming in and making the correct adjustments. So that doesn't faze me. I tell you what, obviously, IU, I think they only trailed one time this entire season. So that'll be something to look at. The one thing that is,
it was the only time they've trailed was against Michigan State. They were down 10-0.
Yeah, and then they went on to score like 48 on
40 in a row. Yeah, whatever like that.
Yeah. So I think that what is interesting about the slow starts is if they do like a Penn State type start, right, where like pick six, because this Indiana team is really good at getting takeaways. Like, that's one thing that they are legit at, and I think that if they get up, they've played like that. That's confidence. The more time that goes by with them having the league, the more confidence that they'll have. So Ohio State, of any other game, I think they need to start this one off fast. You talk about how they don't do it. This is the game to nip that in the bud, because if you get them down, don't get me wrong, they showed that they could come back, but in this state, in this environment, in that setting, and if those fans is there, I know they getting sick of the noon kickoffs. But if they get there and they're loud and draining them out like that, like, it can become overwhelming, and the Buckeyes could roll with this thing. So to me,
that's the hope.
The first quarter is very essential for the Buckeyes.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Come out fast, and when I played, Mel Tucker, who was great coach, my position coach, he always used to say. And it was kind of funny. I kind of hear his voice in my head when I think about it. He's like, give them what they want. Let them know. Like, it's like they expect to come into Ohio Stadium and get challenged, and understand that it's going to be overwhelming, and it's going to be loud. They've got better players. Talking about Ohio State, it's got better players. And for Indiana to win, they're going to have to not let the moment be too big for them. And they're going to have to probably do some things that sort of make it a level playing field, whether it be some trick stuff here and there, whether it be gosh, I don't know, blitzing more and trying to create pressure on defense, trying to create turnovers. Like that's what you have to do, especially on the road. Not just a team that's because I do think Indiana is sort of on the level with Ohio State in terms of being able to play with them.
Okay.
But I still don't think that they don't have the play. Dude, you know this. They don't have the players across the board that Ohio State has. They just don't.
According to the bet line, they thinking that they're like a 2-touchdown dog. So according to the lines, they think that they have no chance. So, I mean,
dude, it's a 13-point spread. That's not no chance.
13.5 is no chance. That's two touchdowns.
Okay. That's the spread.
What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? Okay.
The spread is designed to get people to bet both sides 50-50, right? So that's where it's at. It started at 9.5. Ohio State money's been coming in like crazy on Ohio State. And look, it's at the Horseshoe. Okay. It gives you 7 to 10 points off the rip in terms of the spread. You know what I mean? So that's not surprising. And by the way, every single week there are 2 touchdown underdogs that win.
True. So let me ask you this. So let's say what has to happen for you to believe? Do you believe, first let me ask you, do you believe that Indiana is a top 5 team because they're ranked currently 5th? Do you consider them a legit top 5 team?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, how can I argue otherwise? They've beaten everyone they're supposed to.
Well,
they've beaten everyone
they've played the 108th ranked schedule.
No, I know that, but I mean that's all that they can play. I think we'll know a lot more about
no, because I'm saying for playoff indications.
Yeah.
If they get boat raced, like I can see them falling out. That's what maybe not falling out, but falling way down. And my thing is, what do you need to see from them to keep them inside the 12-team playoff? That's the question.
What do I need to see from them to keep them in the 12-team playoff?
You can go score-wise. You can go just eye tests. Like, what do you need to see?
Well, I mean, obviously, if they win, then they're a top 5 team, top 2 team in the country. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I think that it's got to be a close game where it's not like, oh, they're overmatched. You know, if this is a 7-point, 3-point game, heck, even if they have the lead in the fourth quarter but end up losing to the Buckeyes, I think that proves that they're worthy of being there. It's how they play the game. I mean, you said eye test. That's probably a good way to put it. Like, we'll watch this game on Saturday and have a much better feel really about both teams. Or maybe we'll come out of the game, Tyvis, and say, gosh, man, that was a drag them out fight, you know, and they could play again, right? The Big Ten championship game.
No, whoever wins this is pretty much going.
This is it. Okay, this is elimination game then from that standpoint.
Because unless Ohio State wins this and then loses next week, then you're talking.
You're assuming the win.
I'm assuming winning out. Yeah, whoever wins out.
Dude, you know what, man? I forgot about Oregon for some reason because this.
Oh no, they clinched last week. They good. They in.
No, I know. I just forgot that they were in the Big Ten for some reason.
It's fairly new. Don't worry, it's new. You're good. It's new.
Yeah.
All right. So give me your prediction there. What you got
for the game?
Yeah. What you got?
I say Ohio State wins this.
13.5 is the line.
Yeah. Ohio State wins 31-28.
Really? You got it that close?
I do. I do.
I ain't thought about this. Nobody's asked me this yet. What was my prediction for the game? I'm going to say 28-17.
28-17. Okay.
28-17.
You think they sort of have a chance?
Yeah, the thing about them is when they played the Wolverines last week and they couldn't really do what they wanted to do, especially in the run game. Like I was like, the trench play thing is real, which it's been my speculation. Like if they play somebody that's got some good trench play, like it's gonna stop a lot of the stuff they're doing. And when they played the Wolverine, who is not that great this year, they slowed them down a lot, like to the point where their run game was non-existent and Kurtis Rourke had to win it with his arm. I do think if Will Johnson played, it might have been different. But if our DBs come out and play and we're all healthy, like I don't think that they have the success that they've been having. So
just gotta jump on Rourke. You gotta jump on Rourke early. Defensively, they got to create pressure, maybe some turnovers, make him uncomfortable in that environment. And that's why I think the first quarter is so important. They got to come out and get him on the ground and pressure him and make him feel uncomfortable from the very start.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll see. We got from now until Saturday. Hopefully the Buckeyes figure out their center situation, and let's go. I'll be there. Big. We'll be the tailgate show. Gonna be there. Big noon and game day. All three of us is gonna be there. So make sure y'all stop by. Make sure y'all leave y'all predictions in the comments, and we'll talk to y'all after another Buckeye victories. Until then, peace.